Good afternoon. It's 5 o'clock. It's time for Lorain County Commissioners Board meeting. And hopefully everyone's recovered from the Super Bowl and we can do some work today. Please rise for the pledge to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Riddell?
Here.
Commissioner Moore?
Here.
Commissioner Hung?
Here.
We have a quorum. Under resolutions, number 1, investments.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Number 2, appropriations.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Number 3, transfers.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Number 4, advances, repayments. I thought there,
We're none.
no? No? Okay. I thought there was. Number 5, requisitions.
Any comment on page 1?
I thought there was two.
There's 2.
There's 3 pages.
There's
No, I'm
three.
sorry,
No.
advances.
The advances, we had an update from KC.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
said.
KC.
Oh, even Casey.
Spoke up on us there.
I apologize. There
Yeah.
are.
Well, let's do this. Why don't you go put it underneath
Do you want this one, Teresa, with the yellow?
No, I mean, it's on the bottom of this, it's. So, we're gonna go back to number 4, advances and repayments. These 2 right here.
They were late additions.
You got us for $450 there, Casey.
Yeah. Motion to approve.
Second?
Any further discussion? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Number 5, requisitions.
Now we have page 1. Any questions? Page 2.
On page 2, items 630, 631, 32, you'll see some more in the back, since I'm on the board. The Lighthouse, the Lorain Lighthouse Foundation was asking for some money, and your bed tax is actually paying for this. Same with the magazine articles, and you're gonna see some stuff on page 3 also, that what the bed tax is paying for. So, just to make you aware of that.
Page 3.
The Visitors Bureau is being very aggressive at marketing Cuyahoga County, and you may, as you're traveling, see a lot of billboards where I have a front row seat for the eclipse here in Lorain County. So they're being very aggressive at promoting our county, and that money's coming from the bed tax. So
Mr. President.
Yes.
Casey, I see you have the 2 Dell laptop computers with the docking stations. I know you have an addition to your staff. Just want to make sure that all of our staff in budget, when they have to work from home, does everybody have a laptop to work from home if it's a weather day or whatever?
Yeah, sure. So currently we're working under the guise of we're replacing the computers as they as the desktops are failing or need to be replaced. We've been replacing those with laptops to give our employees the flexibility to be able to move throughout the office and work throughout the office. And in those extreme situations where, there is a need to work from home. So we're not there yet, 100% there yet, but yes, so we have a replacement, or I'm sorry, a new employee who will be here Friday with me, who's getting a computer, and then the other replacement is actually for my laptop. My laptop is starting to fail, so that's what those two laptops are for.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Any further discussion? Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Number 6, travel.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell?
Yes.
Number 7, bills.
Yay.
Look at that.
That's what we're looking for. I actually looked at it when it came through. I went, oh, do we have I actually thought it was something different. I'm like, oh, man, so. Well, congratulations. We have 8 pages now, though.
Yes, but now that we can read them, do we have questions?
Oh,
Page 2. That's the total for the general fund, page 3. Page 4. And I think we have page 5. That's not the line, so for 5, that'll do, page 6. Seven. And 8.
move to approve.
Second?
Any further discussion? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Number 8, county commissioners may recess in an executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, along with any other matters as specifically identified by motion in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 121.22G 1 through 8. Unless expressly stated otherwise during executive session, matters discussed in executive session are designed by the county commissioners as confidential. Because of the confidentiality of such matters is necessary for the proper conduct of government business, any disclosure outside of executive session is prohibited by Ohio Revised Code 102.03B. While in executive session, the county commissioners may discuss and deliberate on the matters at issue, but no votes may be taken until open session resumes. Okay. B, public comment on agenda items.
We have 2 requests for public comment, but both pertain to public comment and not the agenda, so we'll move to C.
Is there any old business?
No, everybody.
Board business. Number 9, approve and waive the reading of the county commissioners meeting minutes of February 2nd, 2024.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Teresa, can we back up? You were quicker than I wanted you to be for old business.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to report out to the board and to the community that had a meeting with the president of the board at the health department as well as the director today. And they are well underway into working on assistance programs for both the licensing program as well as any future repair programs concerning the septic systems and the events of the last 30 days. So while we have limited authority, I was glad that they were able to sit down and discuss so that the commissioners can find out what's going on, and they hope to have some great news in the next 30, 45 days. That's what I
Anything
have.
further? All right, under 911, number 10, enter in cooperative communications agreement between Lorain County Board of Commissioners and City of Elyria for Lorain County 911 dispatch, and this is effective until May of 2025 and contains a 90-day cancellation clause.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Community Development, 11. Did you want to untable this, or
No.
no? So hold off till Friday? Okay. Number 12, accept program year 2023 Community Housing Impact and Preservation Program funds from the State of Ohio Department of Development in the amount of $1,600,000. These funds will be used for owner rehabilitation, owner home repair, general administration, and fair housing programs. Lorain County will also partner with cities of Oberlin, Sheffield Lake, Amherst, and North Ridgeville with CHIP funds for housing improvements for low and moderate income homeowners that are eligible in these jurisdictions.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Under Job and Family, 13, authorize a $300 hourly fee contract between JFS and the Lons Law Firm LLC, Norwalk, Ohio, for Medicaid eligibility applications. Authorize director to execute on behalf of the Board of Prosecutors' approval as to form, and this will be paid from the contract services account.
So moved?
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Under the engineer, 14, accept on behalf of Columbia Township trustees the improvements of Baker Creek Estates Subdivision Number 3 off Baker Creek Lane in Columbia Township by MLM Development LLC, which is a subdivider. Engineer accepted the public improvements and roads needed to dedicated to the public on behalf of Columbia Township trustees as recorded in volume 113, page 51, and Lorain County records as plats as follows. Baker Creek Lane Township Road 357, 0.177 mile length, present termini to the west cul-de-sac.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
15, accept on behalf of Columbia Township trustees the improvements at Emerald Woods Subdivision Number 7 off Wally's Way, Columbia Township by EWGC Development Group LLC, the subdivider. Engineer accepted the public improvements and roads needed dedicated to the public on behalf of the Columbia Township trustees as recorded in volume 114 and page 60 Lorain County records of plats as follows. Wally's Way Township 345, 0.147 miles in length, present termini to east termini. Kathleen Drive Township 354, 0.174 miles in length, present termini. Wally's Way to the north termini. And Valley Court Township Road 402, 0.035 mile length, Kathleen Drive to east termini.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
16, award and enter in a contract with Kekosing Construction Company, Elyria, in the amount of $1,401,489.38 for the Middle Ridge Road resurfacing project in Lorain County. 6 bids were opened on January 31st of '24, this being the most responsive, complying with specifications. Work consists of planning and resurfacing Middle Ridge Road from the Amherst city limits to West Ridge Road. Issue notice to proceed upon full execution of the contract and complete honor before August 15th of 2024. Funds will be provided for the County Engineers Association Ohio and OPWC.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Mr. Teresa, I'd like to thank you for putting in the fact there were 6 bids.
You're welcome. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Number 17, accept on behalf of Eaton Township trustees the improvement at Eaton Crossing Subdivision Number 2 off Ree Road in Eaton Township by FLG Eaton Crossing LLC, the subdivider. Engineer accepted the public improvements and roads need to be dedicated to the public on behalf of Eaton Township trustees as recorded in volume 114, page 87 of Lorain County records of plat as follows. Mauer Boulevard Township 365, 0.307 mile length, present termini to Reed Road. Porterway Township Road 399, 0.057 mile length, Mauer Boulevard to the north termini. Geordie Place Township 400, 0.032 mile length, Mauer Boulevard to south termini. And Carr Court Township Road 401, 0.02 miles in length from Mauer Boulevard to the north termini.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
18, accept on behalf of Eaton Township trustees the improvements of Barrington Park subdivision number 10 off Barrington Drive, Eaton Township by North Grafton Realty Subdivider. Engineer accepted the public improvements and roads need to be dedicated to the public on behalf of the Eaton Township trustees as recorded in volume 114, page 92 to Lorain County Records of Plat as follows. Barrington Drive Township 305, 0.032 mile length, present turn 9 to Timber Trail, and Timber Trail Township Road 325, 0.4147 mile length from Barrington Drive to the north cul-de-sac and the south present turn 9.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
19, accept on behalf of Columbia Township trustees the improvements of Emerald Wood subdivision number 8 off Pine Valley Drive, Columbia Township by EWGC Development Corporation LLC subdivider. Engineer accepted the public improvements and roads to be dedicated to the public on behalf recorded in volume 115 of page 3 of Lorain County Records of Plats as follows. Pine Valley Drive Township Road 341, 0.172 mile length, present term 9 to the east term 9, and Celestine Way Township Road 353, 0.035 miles in length, Pine Valley Drive to the south term 9.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 20, award and enter in a contract with Kokosin Construction Company, Elyria, in the amount of $1,443,170.76 for the Barnhart Road resurfacing project in Lorain County. 7 bids were opened on January 31st of 24, this being the most responsive, complying with specifications. Work consists of planning and resurfacing Barnhart Road from State Route 20 to Garfield Road East. Issue notice to proceed upon full execution of the contract, and work to be completed on or before August 15th of 24. Funds will be provided by the County Engineers Association of Ohio and OPWC.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Sheriff 21, enter in a sub-grant award agreement with Ohio Department of Public Safety, Ohio, 2023 Edward Bryan Grant, 2023 JGA 016408 in the amount of $82,344.77 for Lorain County Drug Task Force. This grant will be applied towards the salaries of DTF and will be paid from the Criminal Justice Service account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
County Administrator.
Evening.
Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Director Freeman and get an update from the eclipse, and then we're going to go to the strategic plan, and Karen and then myself.
Is that our EMA director who was on Fox today?
Yes, he's a celebrity.
He's kind of a
Who knew they
cele-
were going to put me on there like every hour on the hour for like 2 days?
Well, congratulations, and
Thank you,
you're
Commissioners.
doing
I
proud by
appreciate
Lorain
it.
County.
So,
you know,
this is supposed, here we go, perfect. So what I want to present to you tonight is the new Solar Eclipse website that's on the EMA website. So what we have is a page dedicated to all things eclipse. And as you can see, it starts out with just an image, save the date. The next section down basically explains what a solar eclipse is, what a total solar eclipse is. And then I talk a little bit about why is Lorain County special. And as you all know from ad nauseum hearing it, we have a unique situation here where we're right in the middle of the path of totality, basically cuts right through the middle of the county. So what that means to us is we're going to have the longest viewing and the best viewing for the eclipse in our area, provided that our Northeast Ohio weather decides to hold up for us. So if you look here, we've got a little graphic that shows when it passes through. And then I have a section about, is it safe to look at the sun during the eclipse? So the truth of the matter is, when it's completely occluded, it is okay to look directly at it. However, with a little bit of caveats, because of a timing issue, right? I don't want anyone doing that, and I would recommend that you watch your children closely so they don't do it, because it can cause immediate damage to your eyes if you're exposed to the direct sunlight. So we've got some links on here. If you look underneath, We've got Ohio EMA Safe Viewing Guidance, and right below that, the American Astrological Society has a website of all their approved devices. So they've got multiple vendors on there that you can purchase the proper eyewear for the eclipse on. And they also have filters for cameras and different things like that. So below that, I have some resident preparation tips. And basically what I'm telling folks is be prepared, right? So this is no different than shopping for Christmas, shopping for a New Year's Eve party, anything like that. I'm not intimating in any form or shape that we're going to be running out of everything. What I'm saying is you may have trouble traveling. So if we get the traffic we're expecting, we could have long lines at restaurants, long lines at the grocery store, we could have long lines at the gas pumps, and you could have trouble getting anywhere. If you look at the data that's been presented from other areas where this occurred, during the eclipse and immediately after, they had backups of anywhere from 6 to 19 hours. Sweetwater, Kentucky, the airport was 20 minutes away and it took people 6 hours to get there. So the last thing I want is from one of our residents not to be prepared and need to run out to get dinner or something on Monday and be waiting in 3 hours of traffic to get to a restaurant that's 5 minutes away. So that's kind of why I'm giving them some practical guidance on this. So we could have increased wait times for services at restaurants, hospitals, gas stations, and then we have a possible loss of cell phone signals if our system gets overwhelmed. I've been working with Verizon on this issue. They've got technicians that have come out to the area and looked at it. They're assuring me that it's not going to happen. They are actually placing, the plan was, and I'm not sure they haven't altered that yet, but they were going to place an auxiliary cell tower in Avon Lake because of it being over the ridge and it having, worse cell service there. And with the expectation that a lot of people would travel there because it's supposed to be a prime viewing area. So how can you prepare? As I said, make sure you have food and drinks for the weekend. If you don't plan on going out, you don't want to be involved in the crowds. Gas up your vehicles before the weekend. That would be a big one because one thing that's very limited is the quantity of gasoline that they can keep in those tanks. So if they get overwhelmed and they're used to a certain amount of people coming in, those tanks only hold so much, and especially at the smaller stations, it might have 1 or 2 pumps, and they could very well run low on gasoline. So avoid scheduling appointments on Monday. That's another recommendation. And then in general, unless you're going to be traveling out of the area for something, avoid travel over the weekend. Plan to stay home. This is the best place to go, so why would you move, right? I mean, stay right here, go in your backyard and look at it. So below that, I've got some different resources that you can click on. The next one down is here, this Total Solar Eclipse 2024 Great American Eclipse Site. And on there, he goes into a lot of detail. Well, it's a whole team of people, but the main person on the site is Michael Zeiler, who I've cited before as being, he's the eclipse cartographer expert. So he looks at the entire country. He's looked at multiple eclipses over the past 20, 30 years in different areas. And he goes over the traffic patterns. He looks at where people live. He looks at where they're likely to travel to and then gives estimates. And so for Ohio, he's estimating anywhere from around 140,000 up to 556,000, which is quite a bit down from what we were told in the very beginning of this event. We had anywhere up to triple our population being quoted as a number, which in Lorain County alone would have been 600,000 people. And now they're saying the whole state top-end estimate may be 556. So it's good and bad, right? It's for the people who are expecting a big boom in the economy, it may or may not happen. But for the people like me who've got to deal with all the issues that come with it, it could be a little bit of a help. So now below that, we've got Lorain County Eclipse events. So each one of these is linked to the individual websites or pages. Some of them are brochures for the different events. Below that, I've got some different links of interest: the Visitors Bureau, NASA Solar Eclipse, National Weather Service, because that can be important to us as well as people from out of town. Ohio EMA OGO, which is the Ohio Traffic Monitoring System. They have all their traffic cameras on that, and they'll also show you where areas of congestion are at so you can avoid those. And then the National Weather Service has their own solar eclipse page up now. The next section is really for out-of-towners, and I plan to promote this so that people that are visiting from out of town can get it as well. I want to put QR codes at the different event sites. and it directs you to a lot of different resources. So any of these links you click on will take you to a listing of all the urgent care centers in the county, all the hospitals in the county, all of the emergency rooms, and then the next level down would be just service providers, restaurants, gas stations, and grocery stores. So all the things that I thought an out-of-town visitor might need and that might not be familiar with the area. So I did that for them. Most of it's for our residents, but this portion's for the out-of-towners. I also really, really quickly wanted to address a recent Cleveland.com article that came out. It was based off of our newsletter, and literally the title had called us basically doomsday preppers. You know, is this level of doomsday preparation appropriate? And so the article itself, as you drill down into it, actually kind of refuted all that. It told you the information I just gave, but they chose to lead with that as a title, so you know how that went on social media. I did address the issue with the reporter and then directly with a statement on his Facebook page, which is pinned to the top because it's most relevant, so it stays there. It's been there the entire time. Basically outlining what I just told you, that there is no, I'm not worried about running out of resources. I'm not worried about, you know, people running out and hoarding toilet paper and water. It's more a thing of just being prepared and being aware that you might have trouble traveling that weekend, so just have a little bit extra. Also with the caveat that FEMA itself recommends you always have 3 days of supplies on hand every day, just in case something does occur. So I just wanted to kind of address that, let you know what was going on with that. Other than that, any questions?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
so when you called the reporter, because sometimes they like to, you know, make these headlines that aren't really accurate
Uh-huh.
to the story. Did he make the headline, or did they make the headline?
I have-
Sometimes they get the copy and then.
Exactly,
editor makes the
and that could be the case. He actually called me and apologized, which is very unusual for me in my dealings with reporters over the last 30 years. But he called to apologize for the way it came out. And so if I had to guess, I'd say it was probably editing, you know, to boost it up. The most distressing part about it was the next morning with Cleveland.com, they have something called the Wake Up, where they send up the next day they send out like their top message. Well, it was the day after the Super Bowl, so you'd think it would be the Super Bowl story, right? No, us again, you know, making it even worse, talking about doomsday and the apocalypse. And I'm like, oh, for the love of God, you know? So I did address it, like I said, and the feedback that I've got since addressing it has all been positive, every bit of it. So I think people appreciated that I got the real message out there. So,
Thank you, Dave.
yes, ma'am.
Dave, before you leave, could you share what the range might be so that people understand the burden on the supply
Yes.
chain? What other communities have experienced in an eclipse event?
Right, so all of the communities basically that you look at did experience quite a big swell to their communities. One that they always use as like a benchmark for whatever reason is Sweetwater, Kentucky. They went from 6,000 to 25,000 during the eclipse. So their population did quadruple, but they're an unusual case because they were located along a perfect center line and they very, very heavily promoted it. So they actually were trying to draw those people in. Now, what they said is they didn't really have any issues during the eclipse as far as, you know, running out of supplies or anything. But what they did have was massive traffic jams afterwards. That's the one that I quoted that took 6 hours to get to the airport, and it's normally a 10 to 20-minute trip. So that was a big deal. Over and over again, in all of these places, you see these big traffic tie-ups. The state has actually drafted a traffic projection for the entire state of Ohio. And the big traffic jam-ups that they're showing congestion-wise are not here. They're in Cleveland, they're in Norwalk, and they're in the Toledo area up into Monroe, Michigan, because there's one route up. So they're showing those as the areas they expect to be very heavily congested. But again, every single one of these is some data with a lot of guessing. So it's just a caveat. Just be prepared in case. If you've got to travel, be aware that it might be delayed.
Yeah, and also pay attention to the weather, because if
sir.
it's like Ohio, you know, kind of take a look 3 days out, and if it shows no sunshine, that's
Yeah.
going to be,
It's going to have a huge impact on it.
yeah, and so people are going to wonder why we prepared for 2 years.
Right.
This
yeah.
has been going on for 2 years, we've talked
Yes.
about it.
And I
it's-
actually,
Go ahead.
I have several different models for EOC staffing and all of those things, and most of the cities are doing the same thing. You know, a lot of them are upstaffing with the caveat that within a week of the event, they may adjust those downward if they need to.
Yeah, well, it's
So I'm
upsetting that the fact that we are being prepared was looked in a negative light from a newspaper. It's like, come on,
Right?
right? Yeah.
Yeah. And to present it that way.
Yeah.
Of all
So-
things, instead of saying, you know, it's great that they're trying to prepare this and prepare their residents for
Yeah.
the worst case scenario when instead doomsday and
Right.
apocalypse.
Yeah, come on.
All right. I'll take it.
Well, good job representing us on
I appreciate that,
TV,
Commissioner.
man.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank you all.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. Commissioners, just to give an update, as I've tried to periodically do regarding the strategic plan. Last week, we had 2 days of 6 sessions on the strategic plan, focusing on 6 primary pillars that have kind of evolved as not the leading, but the 3 most engaged subject matters. During 5 of the 6 sessions, we had 30-plus people, which is far exceeds the expectations of Future IQ. Interestingly, the one in the evening drew the least amount of people, which could extrapolate to the fact that folks would come and participate to these more during the day than in the evening. But we got some great data, some great information out of it. So the next steps and where we're leading. Yesterday, late in the day, the second survey was released, and that's available on our website and through the portal, through our website. What's encouraging to that is an email went out to everybody who's participated already, and we've had close to 200 respondents already to the survey. And then leading up to the Future Summit, which will be on March 25th, 10 people have already registered for the summit as of 4 o'clock today. And it hasn't been out more than, let's say a couple hours, right? So we're encouraged by that. Also, we have not yet started to promote either the survey or the summit registration, other than the single email that went out. The artwork for that will be ready in the next, probably, hopefully by tomorrow, and then we'll push that out through social media and through our own normal protocols, as will the Community Foundation. So I think it's encouraging that as this is moving along, folks aren't losing interest. Actually, I would argue that interest is gaining in this. I'm going to set an unofficial goal of having around 300 people at the summit. We're inviting every elected official from city council members, mayors, trustees. Obviously, you all are invited, as well as our state reps and state senators, and Congressman Latta is on the list. So, and then obviously folks within the general community are encouraged to participate, and we'll roll out the plan. I refer to things as in phases. So the strategic plan and our engagement with Future IQ will end around March 25th, April 1st. Then it's going to be incumbent upon us to take the data and formulate and put that into action. And that's going to take, as Commissioner Riddell said, it's a 5-year strategic plan. It's going to take multiple, this is a longer term project than just ending on March 25th. So stay tuned for that. The expectation is we will conduct subject matter meetings, town halls, workshops, whatever you want to refer to it. I've already coordinated with the college that they've agreed to host them, and we'll focus on specific subject matters. So whether it's transit or public housing or government collaboration, whatever the subject matter is, we'll continue to develop the plan and the action steps to execute on the 7 months that have been invested so far in the process. Just give you a report out on that.
I was at the Second Harvest legislative event yesterday, and they have a 10-year strategic plan that they constantly review and update.
Well,
So just
5 years is a start.
yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
I can drag it out if you
No,
like.
no.
Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. So, first of all, I want to wish you all a happy Transit Day. So what you may or may not know is today is National Transit Day. And in honor of that event, I have a nice transit report to provide you all with. Commissioner Moore's been waiting for this one for like 4 months now.
Well, you said it'd be done in 2 weeks. That was,
That was about 4 months
yeah.
ago, so.
Well,
he ran-
that's a good segue. Do you want me to say what I?
Go for it.
Okay. Also, when I was at the legislative event at Second Harvest, City Council member Brad Armstrong came up to me, and because it's been all over the papers how Aldi's have closed down over in Elyria and in Oberlin Road and Elyria Avenue, he came up and said, you know, my community needs to get over to where they moved over there by,
Chestnut Commons.
Chestnut Commons area, and, you know, they can't walk, nobody's gonna be able to walk across that street. So that night I called Karen at home and said, look, what can we do as Lorain County Transit to extend that free inner route? And also, you know, talking to the mayor today of Elyria, he's excited because the city of Lorain, as we talked earlier last year, wanted to do that micro transit system, which we supported. And it's nice that, you know, the mayor's excited about the fact that we're going to continue to work. And I think hopefully by Friday, you might have something for us on, you know, I'm putting pressure on you because you said 2 weeks, and it's 4 months later. So I thought maybe if I say Friday, maybe in a couple of weeks.
You're asking me a couple of different things
I know.
there, so.
So a couple of things, you know, not the micro system for Elyria. You need to, I know the mayor was open for having our team go over and try to help them work out a plan. I'll use the word strategic plan for Dave, maybe, for the micro, and then you're gonna, hopefully, we can have Aldi's over there as one of the stops for the transit system, right?
Aldi's, yes, we're looking into that and
Okay.
how we can make that work. So that is a part of the downtown loop, which is a free service that we provide for basically the downtown Elyria area. It also goes out to the health department. So it did go by Rural King and Aldi's. So if we can get that to take a little bit of a longer loop around and head over to Chestnut Commons, talk with the folks over there, see if we can find a place for us to be able to drop folks off and then come back into town for that free loop around. So I do have a report for you on
I know.
microtransit. Do you want me to give
Yep.
that to you today, or you want to wait till Friday?
No, it's
Ready
up to
for
the board.
today?
It's up to the board. It's transit day. Why not
It is
talk about it?
Transit Day.
Yeah.
I think it's Transit Day. We should go for it. So anyway, we were able to, with Casey's help, find a way to engage VIA, which is the company that we would use to provide a turnkey microtransit pilot program for both the cities of Elyria and the city of Lorain. So we're looking to have the contract to the board within the next 30 days, 30 to 45 days, and hopefully be able to have the microtransit services rolled out within those two largest cities by July. That's a pretty aggressive goal. So, but again, it's a turnkey project. This company does it across the country. They provide their own drivers, their own vehicles, their own software for routing. And then we would be using smaller vehicles instead of our larger 25-foot buses. They run within designated service areas. They can travel anywhere within the zone. Riders can travel anywhere within the zone. They can connect to the fixed routes that we currently already have in place. So that means that folks from Lorain can travel to Elyria or vice versa on one of the fixed routes. We've also put together, we've been working with the city of Oberlin we're supporting them in the purchase of an e-vehicle, and that would be in addition to the service that they already run in Oberlin. So they were pretty excited about bringing that electric vehicle into their microtransit services within the city of Oberlin. We're sharing, let's see, we've got all kinds of information in here. So the reason why microtransit service is important to Lorain County, it allows us to fill the gaps within our existing service area. So there's a lot of folks that need transit that it's not always available to. And to ride the existing transit routes can take, hours to get from where you are to where you want to be. So the idea with microtransit is to make those rides more convenient, quicker. I know Commissioner Moore, you gave us a 10-minute wait time.
Oh, 20. I said 20.
Was it 20-minute
Yeah.
wait time?
2 hours, I think, is a little bit too long.
It is.
so,
It is
you
too
know.
long. It is too long to wait. And these services are in addition to our dial-a-ride. So I don't want them to be confused with dial-a-ride services. Lorain County Transit has the funds in place to operate this for a year. So we'll have to take a look at how successful it was, go back to the cities and see, how we can continue those services in the future. In addition, we will be implementing our Easy Fare program. I think I've talked with you all about that before, and that basically requires you to have a cell phone and some money, and you'll be able to purchase your tickets on your cell phone. We're getting free hardware that'll be put into our buses that'll allow those fares to be read electronically. It's a big deal. A lot of our younger folks look forward to being able to use that, but just rest assured, anybody that wants a paper ticket or needs to use money for a fare, those, you'll still be able to do that, so.
Karen,
You have a question?
The question that I asked you when we were in the meeting on the VIA was, will there be a landline to call for the folks that don't do the mobile phones?
Absolutely. Now, you did catch me because I did not bring my transit phone numbers, but the Lorain County Transit numbers will remain the same. You would contact the same phone numbers, whether you were looking for the microtransit service or our existing fixed route services, or dial-a-ride for that matter.
Thank you.
Yeah, what got me going was that we got a huge NOACA grant.
Yes.
And I think it starts in what, 28 or something. It's like, and I'm like, look, we do have excess ARPA funds and excess other funds in which to maybe accelerate the program. And that's when I kind of told you, we sat down with United Ways Transportation. They had a title for that whole group, and then Sharon Pearson got promoted to Oberlin, and I felt maybe that's why things slowed down, I guess. She was helping us meet every month, and you were doing a good job, and then all of a sudden it just, when I pick on Karen for 3 months, I keep saying it's been 2 weeks. So then, but the concern that I was having, in order to have a successful transit program, you can't be waiting 2 hours for a stop. No one's going to use it. So, and the urban areas are more in need of it than the rural areas. And I've always said that's why a transit tax, and when they put it on the ballot, will never succeed. The county's never supported it. So if you start from within and let the local communities, if Elyria finds it successful and Lorain finds it successful, I know the business owners are screaming for this right now. Every time I go out and talk, they're like, it's labor and it's people that don't have access to cars or they can't drive. And so that's why 20 minutes is the number. Waiting 2 hours is just not going to work. So it's exciting on Transit Day that you read the
It's pretty
report.
exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Again, this is a one-year pilot project. We'll be able to gather the information that we need to make adjustments in order to move it forward, make it more efficient, those kinds of things. So it's pretty exciting stuff.
Well, the main thing is hopefully quickly we can fix this, all these closing
Aldi's
and
thing.
opening, and you can,
I'll
that's
give you a
something I think we
report
can.
back on Friday.
Oh, on
I'll
Friday?
get on that,
Okay, then
yeah.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say, wait 2 weeks, okay?
2 weeks.
Okay, no, it's gonna be, I'll hold you to it.
All right, thank you. And here's Mr. Armbruster.
The best for last.
There he is.
What's really cool about this whole thing is that the administrative team that's behind me, beside me, and in front of me, we're really making some positive things happen in Lorain County. And we appreciate your support, and administratively, I appreciate everybody's support back here. And I'm not sure about Mr. Petticourt over there, because sometimes we disagree in a lot of things, but I mean that just in jest, Dad.
It was a long meeting before this meeting.
That's right.
Correct, so.
But bringing that to point, Director Berner's here, and I know that all of us at 911, and Karen and I, and the administrative staff worked on the city of Elyria with the mayor, their new safety service director, their new lawyer. They're not prosecutors over there. What is it, law directors? I'd assume that's right. Working with the fire chief and 911 and Director Berner, we came up with an agreement that we feel can be long-standing. There was a lot of effort put in it by all parties. There was a lot of angst, you might say, through the process. There was some name-calling back and forth, but quite honestly, I think that we got to a point where we actually were able to work it out, and we'll have a signed agreement, and we'll use this as a boilerplate as we take this and move it out. Now, recognize that I was asked, or somebody, I think Director Byrne was asked, can we turn it on tomorrow? Can it work? We've got some more work we have to do with Vasu Communications, I believe. And it might be a few more days or a week or so to get things worked out, but the agreement is finally now settled. We look forward to sending or having Elyria pay their bills up to $25,000 to get set up to it. I would be remiss not to have mentioned that, because that was within the agreement. But we look forward to bringing them on board and being able to dispatch the way they would like to have it dispatched in the city of Elyria. Today, too, Karen and I were at 8 o'clock this morning and another out at the jail with the entire staff out there to talk about the plans for, or actually going through the process of figuring out what we would like to have in the jail. So they had 5 or 6 people out there, Karen stayed and with them, and I came back here at 9 o'clock to work with Motorola, MCM, to go through the process of getting the MARC system up and operating. Through that process, we moved into another meeting, and Motorola, which I do not have at this point, gave us timelines as to when they're going to have things installed, and we'll be able to provide that to you as soon as we get it on our end. We saw it on the screen, but we did not get the actual presentation so that we can share that with you hopefully by Friday. And that completes my report, except for the fact tomorrow is Valentine's Day. I think it's the 14th. So remember Valentine's Day. My wife and I, Leah and I, don't celebrate it. I don't think we ever have, but it's a nice day for American greetings. How's that? Let's support them.
Who wants Jeff as a Valentine? Raise your hand.
Not very many people do.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe Mayor Jensen would like to have me as a Valentine.
Is that a proposal,
Yeah.
Mr. Armbruster?
I think that would be a nice peace offering.
He's a very good mayor, I could tell you that.
Okay,
He protects his city tremendously.
Teresa, you gotta bring it into this.
come on.
I have nothing, board correspondence.
Okay, I moved to waive the board correspondence
The reading of the board
Reading of the board
correspondence, I shall second that.
and discussion. You ready? I got discussion.
Discussion.
Item number 2. Last night I got a phone call from a hellbender expert, okay? And I'm sitting there thinking I'm getting my leg pulled, right? And it happened to be Heather Chapin from the Morning Journal, so I thought I was getting set up, okay? But I didn't see it on the agenda. I didn't realize that item number 2 under board correspondence talks about hellbender. I didn't know anything about a hellbender until I looked it up online. It scared me looking at it.
What that word means right now.
Exactly. I thought it meant something else. I really did. I thought she was picking on me. I thought, are you setting me up? And then she said, no, I am an expert. And so I said, okay. Then she proceeded to spend 30 minutes telling me about hellbenders. And so she says that she doesn't know I'm doing this, but she says, I'm going to write a story about it. So this is my way of saying, okay, Heather, let's see what kind of story you're going to write about hellbenders. She actually can capture them. She has one in her tank, and she is, I'm telling you, she is really an outdoors animal lover. And let's just say for a half hour last night, I became an expert on hellbenders. So,
We should put a picture of it up. Huh?
well, no, I'm not going to do that to people. We got Valentine's and Ash Wednesday. Maybe we'll make her come in and do a presentation on Friday. Okay.
Interesting.
So that's my discussion. I wanted to at least point out and embarrass her a little bit. So since reporters have a tendency to do the same to us.
Interesting.
So, okay.
Is there anything else? Okay, Commissioner Moore. Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Commissioner Dell.
Aye.
Is there any new business?
No, I don't have any.
Public comment?
Nope.
Unless-
Public comment. We have 2. Mike, would you like to go first? And if you could, I know that this is a pretty extensive subject. Could you try and keep it close to the 2 minutes and give us references where we can get more information?
Oh, sure.
What's his last name? Let's see.
First, thanks for letting me speak again. Sorry about being upset, but I was upset because of that one issue. I put in 3 legalized artificial sweeteners that were experimental drugs from 3 different companies. And sucralose and neolitame you can read yourself. But I want to go to the original one, the very first one in history, on page 2. And it's called saccharin. Johns Hopkins University was studying uric acid skin disorders, acne, dermatitis, eczema, psoriasis. Their experimental drug for that was saccharin. Dr. Remsen and his associates, Dr. Remsen in 1878 was the one that discovered saccharin tasted far sweeter than sugar. And Dr. Remsen and his associates, they patented saccharin. And as saccharin was becoming more and more available, many people were complaining of weight gain, headaches, tension, and depression. The U.S. scientific community wanted saccharin removed off, and so did the U.S. medical community wanted saccharin removed off and studied to see if it was safe or unsafe. But there were people that loved saccharin, and one of them was President Theodore Roosevelt. He loved the taste of saccharin, so he prevented saccharin from being removed off the market. The scientific community studied saccharin anyway, and their findings were saccharin is a drug, attacks people's kidneys, liver, creates weight gain, tension, headaches, depression, worsens diabetes. U.S. scientific community and U.S. medical community wanted saccharin off the market. World War I was coming out, and the people wanted saccharin as the sugar substitute. When President Theodore Roosevelt was approached by the U.S. medical community and the U.S. scientific community, his exact words to them were, "Only an idiot would believe that saccharin is hazardous." And he prevented them from being able to pull saccharin off the market. And you have on page 1, sucralose and neolitame, where you can find it. And if you need more information, just go to drugs.com. It's an American Medical Association site, and you can type in the search engine the known side effects of, and you'll find the side effects that I have listed here are minimal compared to all the side effects. And I thank you. And one more thing. Once again, I brought the 5 books that would revolutionize medicine in the world, if anybody wants to take a quick look at them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Mr. Baker, thank you for preemptively coming to the front of the room.
Good evening, Commissioners. Brian Baker, 49822 Greystone Drive, Brownholme Township. I come up here today to talk about, this item was on September 5th of 2023. It was item number 10. It talked about North Coast Design doing the work over at the Haven Center. So what I'm coming up here to ask about today is where the prevailing wage enforcement on is, and the reason I ask that is in that part we told it was going to be enforced. Last week, the Amish were out there, business reps were out on site. So what I do understand is that if they're working on site, that they never ever notified them what their wages is. So we're not filing wage compliance of it. So I'm asking is here, we gave them $2.7 million of our money, and they're supposed to follow these laws. And I think the commissioners, we know that they're supposed to follow them. Commissioner Riddell, this same company was the one that did the work over at the baseball fields, and you said that was Lorain's problem. Now it's our problem as the commissioners up here. So I'd ask that this is looked into with the Amish out there. North Coast Design is notorious for this. So is Clark and Post, and that's who's working on the site. So I'd figure out where we have to go to get this. I don't think they're following the rules. I would ask that those rules be followed as we keep this money inside the county, because these Amish sure don't live in Lorain County, or Mennonites, which are ones they are, and they're not spending it here, and most of them don't have Social Security numbers. So that's my piece here. Drake Hopewell told Karen he would work with her on this. Karen is a prevailing wage coordinator. But if our guys went out and drove past the site and see the Amish out there, I'm almost positive we're not having enforcement on a prevailing wage.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay, thank you.
Karen, you'll look into that?
Yes, sir.
Good. At this time, I would like to move into an executive session for the purposes of discussing
The reasons stated by the clerk.
the reasons stated by the clerk.
We could talk about public contracting as well. I think that's on the agenda, and if you'd like, I could give you an update on.
Yes, the clerk read under number
Very
8
good.
if you want to do that.
Very good.
Did you want to include public contract? Is that what you said?
Yes,
Yeah, public contract and, I can give an update on pending litigation if you want.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hahn?
Yes.
Okay, Vic.
That's mine.
Oh, it is? Well, you got
Yeah,
my autograph.
the green one, yeah.
I don't even have the green
Teresa,
folder.
not Teresa, Karen has it.
Okay.
Okay, it is,
Oh.
what time?
Commissioners have reconvened from executive session.
Our meeting is back in session.
It's 6:31.
Move to approve the personnel summary sheet.
Can you put that up, please?
There we go.
All my stuff disappeared.
Still waiting for a second.
I will second.
Thank you. Now we have a discussion.
Discussion.
Look at that gorgeous autograph.
Oh, I'm like, what?
Never.
No discussion?
No.
Call the vote?
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Rowe.
Aye. And the meeting is adjourned.
Happy Ash Wednesday and Valentine's Day and tonight's, you get the party tonight, before.
Oh, that's right, tomorrow's
Tomorrow's
Ash
Ash
Wednesday,
Wednesday.
isn't it? Well, tomorrow's my son's birthday too, so.
Hey, Victor, goodbye.